Good evening, and welcome to Honors at UVM. My name is Jayle Chambé, Senior Assistant Director of Admissions, and I'll be your host for the evening. I want to start by saying congratulations on being admitted to UVM's class of 2025. In the 230-year history of our university, your applicant pool was among the most competitive and the largest. So you should feel incredibly proud of your accomplishment. We have an incredible program planned for you this evening. You'll be able to hear an academic overview. You'll be able to engage in a live Q&A with some of our current students, and then we'll end the program with a Q&A with an academic advisor. Some quick housekeeping before we get started. On your screen, you'll find the chat function. This is where you'll be able to post your questions for the question and answer portion of our evening. Additionally, you'll see here instructions for closed captioning our event. So, with no further ado, I will kick it over to Martha Lance and Scott Clark for an academic overview.
Hi, I'm Martha Lance. I'm one of the academic advisors in the Honors College. I use he, her pronouns. I earned my PhD at Penn in archaeology, and I taught a bunch of places before landing here at UVM in student support. I'm really eager to get to know you and welcome you to UVM in the fall. I'm one of 2 advisors in the Honors College.
And I'm Scott Clark. I'm the other advisor in the Honors College. I use he, him pronouns. And my work as an advisor is informed by my background in social work and in teaching English as a second language. I'm looking forward to working with you and to getting to know you academically and otherwise during your journey at UVM.
You'll be a dual citizen here at UVM. And this means that you'll have a home college advisor where your major discipline is based, and you'll also have Scott or me as an honors college advisor, your second home. As a dual citizen, you will inhabit the best of all worlds. You'll be a student living and studying in a major research institution, and you'll also have a home in the honors college where you'll enjoy small classes, the faculty will get to know you, and Scott and I and the rest of the HCOL staff will be there to personally support you in your journey as a student here in the Honors College.
Much of our advising in the Honors College centers around co-curricular involvement. There are dozens upon dozens of clubs and activities for you to get involved in at UVM that will complement your academic studies. We'll help you find them. But when Martha and I meet with you and talk about your extracurriculars, we'll also ask you questions like, what gets you up out of bed in the morning? What kinds of clubs and activities are restorative and energizing for you? Which ones would be new and different and open your mind to new things? And which clubs and activities are ones that will help you in your journey to become a socially conscious and responsible actor in the world?
Scott and I know a little about a lot across campus in UVM. We'll provide you with a network of support. We'll be your main referral service for opportunities in the classroom and out. You'll also have a peer mentor in the Honors College who will guide you through the student experience.
Apart from supporting your transition to college in general, Martha's and my role also centers around the Honors College curriculum and charting your path to a senior thesis in the Honors College. We'll be your Honors College advisors for all 4 years you're in HCOL. Especially in your first 2 years, we'll play a role helping you sharpen and define your areas of academic interest. After that, there's a handoff in the junior year when your interests become more academically focused and based out of the department that your major is in. Martha and I are here to help you get there. We're here to help connect you to academic opportunities and to support your personal development along the way.
We're deeply invested in your academic development and success. It's a privilege to work with you, and we live vicariously through your successes and achievements. Look forward to working with you in the future.
We're also deeply invested in your well-being. The HCOL team can't wait to start working with you. And now you're going to hear from some of our stellar Honors College students about their experiences in the Honors College.
I I love living in the Honors Residential College. I think that it's in the perfect location on campus because it's not too far from everything that's happening, but it's also not too close that you feel like there's too much happening around you and you can't escape. Also, I think that the main thing that stands out to me about living in the Honors College is the community and the people that you're living with. I honestly was a little worried about the Honors College feeling too competitive and like everyone would always be studying and it wouldn't be any fun, but that's so far from the truth. Yes, I can always find someone to study with. I can always find someone who would be willing to look over my paper, to help me with the chem lab, to help me study for the bio exam. When a big test is coming up, I can always walk into any of the study rooms and find someone who's also studying and wants to study together. We all want each other to do well. It's not a competition. We're all lifting each other up, which I think is an amazing and healthy environment to be in. But also at the end of the day, we're college students, and the Honors College kids don't forget that. I've made some of the best friends of my life here living in the Honors College. We'll go skiing on the weekends together, we'll go on hikes, we eat all our meals together. But also, if you want to study, they don't make you feel bad for, wanting to leave a social environment to go do that. But they also are a great support system. At the end of a hard week, we'll all, huddle into the common room together and watch a movie on the projector. So it's just such a great environment.
The next question I'm going to be answering is, how did you get matched up with your roommate and did you get along? So the short answer to that is yes, we got along great. Coming in my first year, I went random when selecting a roommate. So UVM is a process where you fill out almost a Match.com style survey where you preference your living situation, your sleep schedule, if you're messy or neat, if you like to go to bed early, that kind of thing. So they did a really amazing job matching my roommate and I because we learned throughout the year that we have almost some pretty uncanny similarities. We both love soccer, have very active lifestyles. We have similar sleeping schedules, and to this day, he's my best friend on campus. So it worked out really great for me, and I think the survey did a great job matching us. So there's also the option, if you already know somebody on campus and you want to live with them, you can preference their name in your housing form, and then if they do the same, you'll be matched up and you'll be living together.
Hi there, my name is Em. I'm a rising junior in the Honors College studying Community and International Development. I'm here to talk about my favorite spot in Burlington, which is called the Intervale. This is a group of farms along the Winooski River. I went there for the first time in an internship this summer. I'm working on gleaning and food access, and this is my favorite place in Burlington because it's a really great natural area. I study Community and International Development, which means I often look at agriculture, and so it's a really interesting place in terms of agricultural development, but it's a really beautiful natural area with lots of trails along the river. It's my favorite place to go and de-stress as well as work on a farm.
The Honors College was a big part of why I chose to come to UVM, and I'd say that everything that I thought was going to be really good about it has definitely been the case for me. Getting the course registration priority is really helpful because I've been able to make my own schedule, really think about how I want my days to look, which professors I want for different, big classes that there's multiple sections of, and so I really like that.
I also think the Honors College has a lot of support, and living in the residential college, it's just really nice to be in the center of that. There's chemistry sessions right before big chem exams. There's writing tutor sessions where they'll look over your H-call papers. There'll be yoga during stressful times in the multi-purpose room. Right around course registration, there was someone out in the lobby that was willing to help you. There was coffee set up and snacks. So it's just a really great place for you to have support and to never feel overwhelmed with your classes. One time I came back and Dean Jenneman had made apple crisp for everyone in H-call. It was just such a great thing to come back to. And there's just not a lack of support. You can always find someone who's willing to help you out if you're struggling with anything. Also, living in H-call, your Honors College class is right there in the dorms, which is super nice. My Honors College classes were always my first class of the day, so I always would, go down in my slippers and with a cup of tea, have a great class and a great discussion, and then go up to my dorm and get ready for the day. I think that it's great having that one class in the dorms, but then also being able to, go onto central campus and go into the other buildings. It's really a really great balance.
I want to thank Martha and Scott for that overview, and I hope it was great to hear from some of our current students. We fully understand that really the best way to understand the UVM experience is hearing from our current students. So with that in mind, we've brought 3 students here to serve on a panel to share their experiences and answer your questions. So with that in mind, I'll have each of them introduce themselves now.
Hi everyone, my name is Garrett Higgins and I'm originally from Gorham, Maine. Here at UVM, I'm a junior studying environmental science in the Rubenstein School for Environment and Natural Resources. I also have 2 minors, one in community development and international relations, and another in wildlife biology. Outside of academics, I'm involved in the men's club soccer program. I also play the alto saxophone in the UVM pep band, and I'm involved in the Science Literacy Initiative, which is a group of UVM students that goes to a local after-school program to perform science experiments to the kids there.
Hi everyone, my name is Michaela and I'm originally from Crofton, Maryland. I'm a junior studying sociology and economics with a minor in music in the College of Arts and Sciences and the Honors College. Outside of academics, I am a resident advisor in our Honors College learning community. I'm also a campus event planner with the UVM program board and the chair of the Student Equity Action Committee in the Honors College. I also participate in some clubs on campus, like the Vermont Students Towards Environmental Protection and the Women of Color Coalition.
Hi everyone, my name is Aiden. I'm a junior in the College of Arts and Sciences studying biochemistry. I'm originally from Moncton, Vermont, which is about a half-hour south of Burlington. Outside of the classroom, I'm involved in our Student Government Association where I serve as a committee chair, and I'll be completing my honors thesis in the Vermont Conversation Lab, which analyzes serious illness conversations.
Great. So these students are here to answer any questions that you may have, so please feel free to post your questions in the chat at any time. So while you're thinking of these questions, we have a few questions that we often hear from prospective students or their parents about the Honors College community and what it means to live within the Honors College. So with that in mind, Garrett, can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to live in the Honors College?
Sure, thank you for that question. The first thing that stands out to me when I think about my first 2 years living in the Honors College dorms is the people that were on my floor and the community that I was able to encounter there in the Honors College. So right off the bat, I was pretty nervous about meeting new people and kind of making new friends coming into college, but right away I felt pretty at ease as I met the people that were on my floor. Everyone was super opening and accepting, and we all got along really well. I think we were a group of people that might not have become friends if it wasn't for living on the same floor, but with that being said, we did almost everything together and had a great time doing it. Additionally, the Honors College hosts a series of events that students can partake in to kind of be social with each other and to learn new things. So a couple of examples of these are bullet journaling with the peer mentors or wellness nights and game nights. So it's a ton of fun to live in the Honors College, and there's plenty of opportunity to meet people, to learn. And another great thing, I think Anne mentioned this in the video that you all just watched, is that some of your classes and a lot of the supports that you get from the Honors College are located right below where you're living. So, you know, if I had an early class, I could roll out of bed, roll down the stairs, and roll right into the classroom, which is a really good way to start the morning.
Location is everything, apparently, for Garrett, which is nice, I guess. Michaela, we often hear from students who come from across the country and across the globe who come to UVM from further away that there's this concern about building a sense of community and how challenging they feel that could potentially be. How do you feel like the Honors College has helped you to develop a sense of community?
Thank you for that question. For me, I don't think anything brings students together more than mutual struggle. Personally, I found a lot of community by taking the classes that the Honors College offers. So For your first and second year in the Honors College, you're actually going to be taking courses with your fellow Honors College students. At first, it's going to start like with some similar messages, but then eventually you get to choose specific topics. So if you're interested in more like biology or philosophy, you can pick with that. But just the fact that I was taking these classes and then our students were also conveniently located in the same building. Location is everything. It's really awesome, like being able to just walk down the hall to someone's room and be like, what do we do? Like, what was the question? I don't know what to do. And like being able to figure out those problems together was really essential in building a community with the Honors College. And that's definitely like, I know a lot of my friends today from taking Honors College classes with them, and I'll still like will message and reminisce about, oh my gosh, do you remember that assignment we did in that Honors College class? I know it sounds ridiculous, but we still do that, and like it's nice to have that sort of community.
Great, thanks. We often hear from prospective students that they're concerned that they're going to feel isolated from the rest of campus, that the Honors College is completely separate from the 7 other undergraduate schools and colleges. Aiden, can you talk a little bit about the social interactions between the Honors College and everyone else on campus?
Absolutely. Martha actually stated it well. We are dual citizens here on campus. So while the Honors College is an important part of our time here at UVM, it's also only a part of our time here on campus. So as Michaela was mentioning, as a first year, you'll take 1 Honors College class, but maybe 3 to 5 other classes outside of the Honors College in your major, or outside of your major with students from across the university. And so while you do spend time living in the Honors College and communicating with students and getting to know students in the Honors College, you'll find that a lot of your time is spread across campus, whether that be in coursework that you're taking, being involved in our over 200 clubs on campus, which are open to everyone on campus. There are so many ways to get involved outside of the Honors College. The Honors College is conveniently located around several other residence halls for other learning communities on campus, so you'll always be running into students from around the university. I will note, however, that the Honors College is a really important part of so many of our journeys here on campus. Right when you get to campus, I was shocked to find some of my best friends today in the Honors College. Honors College students are some of the smartest and wittiest and most charming students on UVM's campus, and it's a really important social aspect for us here on campus.
Smartest, wittiest, most charming, most modest, obviously, students that we have here in the Honors College. So, Garrett, you talked about what it's like to live in the Honors College. Could you go a little bit more into detail about what the dorms are like in the Honors College?
Yeah, of course. The dorms in the Honors College are honestly a huge perk of living there. Along with all the community and everything, the dorms are really nice. Living in University Heights, again, I'll go back to location. You're located on Athletic Campus, which Aiden mentioned is located right around 7 other residential dorms. And you're also really close to the gym, the athletic facilities, the fields, so you can go to the gym and walk just a couple minutes right back to your dorm. It's also, I found it pretty nice to be located a little bit away from the rest of the academic buildings. It kind of gave me a little bit more of a sense of work and living. So kind of that split was really nice for me, just to kind of mentally make that pivot as I was walking back to the dorm. And again, I'll mention that in the Honors College, there's all of the amenities that every other dorm has, and then some. So on the first floor of the Honors College, there's a kitchen, which students are free to use. I actually used this a couple of times with friends, just baking brownies, or actually a couple of people on my floor even made a pie, which I thought was really impressive. So living in the dorms is a really great perk of being in the Honors College for sure.
With a view towards the academic component, Michaela, can you talk about your favorite Honors College class so far?
Oh goodness. I'm just trying to rake my mind for the classes I took. I think my favorite though was Women in Science with Donna Tufexi. I think with that class, it was really nice being able to like see like a really a field that I'm not necessarily like majoring in, and seeing the role of women throughout time. Especially, I find myself referencing the articles that we read in that class, in my classes today. As like a sociology major, I do a lot of like classes in regards to gender studies. So I like, during this one class I'm in this semester actually, like multiple times I was like, in this class I read this article, and I really like being able to like continue like that learning that I had in that class. And also we had some really fun assignments in there. At one point we wrote like a fictitious autobiography, where we were pretending to be like someone in science, and then like explaining like the time period. So that was a really fun assignment for that class. And then we also like tried to like identify, see if you could identify gender through like personalities. It was a whole thing, to like be able to take these personality tests. But it was like something I'll never forget, and it was a really fun time, like being able to speak with everyone and like have those small discussions, in combination with my other classes at UVM.
We have a question about food at the Honors College. And Aiden, could you talk about some of the food options within proximity of the Honors College, and maybe some of your favorite spots on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So while there isn't a dining hall directly associated with the Honors College, there is a dining hall a minute or two right outside from University Heights North, which is where you live on the Honors College. Excellent options, so much versatility in what they option, amazing vegan and vegetarian and gluten-free options. I am always reminded of some fun like themed dinners that they would have in that dining hall. I remember around Thanksgiving time they would always put on a Thanksgiving dinner, just some like really fun events, amazing desserts, and also a really amazing place to come with members of the Honors College after class, and just eat together and have that shared time together. There are a ton of other amazing retail locations on campus. Henderson's, which is our coffee shop on campus, has excellent coffee. I'm a big fan of their ginger lemon tea. Other spots on campus, it's hard to come up with some of my favorites, because there's so many. Another one that's my favorite is New World Tortilla, which has amazing burritos and quesadillas. I actually have a friend who works there, and so it's always fun to go there and chat with him when I'm ordering. But whatever your appetite is, there's something for you here at UVM. We like to say that there are 10,000 appetites here at UVM, and the dining here on campus accommodates all of those.
How students are spending their time outside of the classroom also has a huge impact on their university experience. Garrett, can you talk a little bit about what's happening outside of academics on the UVM's campus?
Sure. Just like any college, you can find so much going on at UVM outside of academics. Anything that you're interested in, you can probably be involved with. And a lot of this stems back to our 200 plus clubs. And I'll just name a few just to kind of get you thinking about it. We have a beekeepers club. We have a woodsman club. They take chainsaws and axes and work on their woodsmanship. We also have all the club sports. We have intramural sports, which is another way that people like to get active. So there's the full gamut of clubs that you can be involved with here. There's also, I'll mention that there's different media outlets, so you can be involved in a magazine or on a radio show. There's also some leadership opportunities. So Student Government Association is a great way for students to do this and be involved in the politics of campus and being an intermediary between the students and the faculty and staff here at UVM. So whatever you're interested in, you can probably be involved with. So outside of these clubs, a lot of students like to go off into the greater Burlington area. You can go down to Lake Champlain, gorgeous lake with plenty of park space and open areas to hang around in. There's also the downtown Burlington area with really great restaurants and novelty shops. Then if you go a little bit further, you can get into some of the world-class mountains in Vermont, the Green Mountains. So if you're a fan of hiking or skiing, you can take part in that. So anything that you're interested in here, UVM probably has it.
Great. So Michaela, you've been in the Honors College, so you're a junior. You've lived in the Honors College as a junior, as a sophomore, and as a first year. Going back to the summer before your first year, can you talk a little bit about how you connected with your Honors College, your first Honors College roommate?
Um, this is a funny question, just because like the summer before my first year was a wild time, in terms of like transitioning to college. But I remember, um, when housing assignments went out, my first year roommate like actually like, emailed me, and like we exchanged information and like um, social media platforms so that we could connect with each other and like make a plan. I was like, I already got a fridge, and she was like, I got a Keurig, and we were set. That's all you need: coffee and refrigeration. Um, but that was definitely like really nice being able to go in, and then she was actually like from Vermont, so coming from out of state, it was really nice being able to know someone in the area and like ask like, where's this? Like, I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing with my time. So it was really nice being able to have that connection, and being able to like reach out to each other like before school started. So that's definitely something I would recommend, like sending, you're going to be setting up your UVM email prior to coming on campus. So reaching out once you find out who your roommate's going to be through your UVM email and connecting with each other and like starting that plan. And a lot of students will do that. But even like, if you don't necessarily do that, I don't want to think that you have to do that. There's also like so many events right when you arrive on campus for you to meet people, and like you're going out with people on your floor and your roommate and your suite mates to like just with the intention to bond and get to know each other so that you can build that community and like be ready.
So at this point, Honors College, Apple Crisp, and macaroni and cheese are legend on our campus. Aiden, can you talk a little bit about some of the Honors College specific events that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much programming that goes on in the Honors College. Those could be really informal things, such as like karaoke nights down in the lobby. Garrett mentioned bullet journaling with your peer mentors, or it could be more formal events, such as meeting with your advisor, or events before class registration, which is an important time for the Honors College, making sure that you get all your ducks in a row before you register for classes. One of my favorite events that would go on was with former Dean Lisa Schnell. She would bake cookies, I think every Tuesday evening, and it was a great time to pop in and chat with the dean and eat some cookies and get to know some new members of the Honors College. But there's always stuff going on in the Honors College. Walking through University Heights, you'll always see posters, and your email will be full of events going on in the Honors College to meet new students, and really build that amazing community that exists within the Honors College.
We hear this question a lot from students who come from maybe from small high schools, that coming to a university of our size can be really overwhelming, and that being able to navigate it sounds sort of terrifying, I think. Garrett, can you talk about the accessibility that students have to professors, and how those relationships are really important to the UVM experience?
Sure, yeah. I think that professors here at the University of Vermont are really willing and ready to build a relationship with you. I'll give a quick example. One of my former Honors College professors was totally outside of my major. This was a class that I was taking that was not related to environmental science at all, which I was actually really enjoying because it was a little something different than what I was taking that semester. And his name is Professor Briggs, really amazing professor. Our Honors College class really bonded just about the material and about just life in general and what we were up to here at UVM. So our professor was just really great at building our discussions and building our relationships with each other. And in that way, we got to know him really well, and would, after class would stay back and chat just about whatever's going on in our lives. So professors here at UVM are really willing to talk with you about, if that's classes or if that's something going on back in the dorm, whatever it is. I think that they're very accessible and willing to chat with you.
Heard tonight about how UVM is home to over 200 clubs and organizations, things from an accounting club to a Quidditch club. Michaela, can you talk a little bit about the accessibility of these clubs? Is everyone eligible to be involved, and what does that involvement look like?
UVM, I think we said this earlier, but I'm just going to say it again, has like over 200 clubs. And what's really great is that at the beginning of every semester, there's like an activities fest where a bunch of the clubs will like table, or I know this year they also had like online presences in addition to in-person presences for people to tune in and learn more about all of our wonderful clubs on campus. The Student Government Association also like passes out a list of all the clubs. And there's like an online website as well where it lists like all the clubs and like contact information for you to be able to like get in contact with these clubs. And I really appreciate that there is like such a huge variety. Like we have like Garrett said earlier, like we have club sports, and then there's beekeeping and other environmental clubs, and then there's arts clubs. There's like a club where they literally just watch like Glee Club episodes that I think some of our friends started. And what's also really great about clubs, it's you get to pick however involved you want to be. And it's all like completely dependent on your schedule and what you want to do. Like for like example, I participate pretty avidly in like the beekeeping club. My participation wanes with the time and the changing of the season. So it's definitely like nice being able to receive those emails and be like, one, do I have time for this? Or does this sound fun? And like these clubs are like super accessible to everyone. They try and make it so that they can get as much participation from all the student body, so that everyone knows how great their clubs are. But it's definitely like really fun being able to just, I love getting emails and like from all the different clubs and being like, should I go to that? Or that fun thing. And like also getting to know people too. That's fun.
Thanks, Michaela. We have a great question here, and this is a question we get a lot, actually. We understand that at the university, we talk about the skiing opportunities and the hiking and the backpacking and the kayaking opportunities. But we also realize, too, that students who come to the university may not love all of those things as well. Aiden, can you talk a little bit about how you don't necessarily have to be the most active person in the world to feel like you have a spot here in our community?
Yeah, absolutely. Being a Vermonter, I'm also a terrible skier. And so, which is kind of embarrassing because I've lived here my entire life and I probably, one would expect that I would be good at skiing, but I'm really not. But I've never really felt that that was a bad thing on campus. I think the statistic is about 20% of our students are pretty involved in skiing in the winters, but you know, you don't have to love the outdoors to be a UVM student. If you don't like being outside, that is completely fine. We have a tunnel that connects part of campus if you don't want to walk outside in the winter. If you want to stay inside, that is totally, totally fine. While we do have gorgeous mountains and a beautiful lake nearby, there are tons of things to do right here on campus if that isn't your jam, whether that be movie nights here on campus, fashion shows during the winter. There is so much going on campus that doesn't have to do with outdoors, and we're really supportive of students from all backgrounds, even like me, who is a terrible skier. I will reiterate, I'm a terrible skier, and that's okay.
Thank you for that very candid response, Aiden. I certainly appreciate that. So as our time together with the students comes to an end, we have really what I would consider to be the most important question for you folks is, why UVM? Why should the folks at home who are watching this event this evening choose the Honors College and choose the University of Vermont? We'll start with Garrett.
Sure, yeah. I'll first kind of just start with my experience in the whole college search process, which I know to be very stressful and at some point scary. I like to think of myself as a pretty organized person, so when I was going through this whole process, of course, I made my spreadsheet and I listed out all the specs for the different schools that I was looking at. And right off the bat, UVM was a front runner. It checked off a lot of the boxes that I was looking for. I was looking for a strong environmental science program, somewhere where I could get outside. I really liked the size of UVM, kind of a mid-sized school. mid to large size school with a lot of resources, but also not large enough that you feel kind of lost in everything. So with that being said, the thing that I really came to love about UVM, and was the real reason why I ended up coming here, was the passion of everybody that I met here on campus. When I first came to tour the university, it was clear in the students and the faculty that I met that everyone who is at UVM is passionate about something, and it could be anything. Could be environmental science, but it also could be the history of art. It could be gender studies. It could be soccer. Could be basketball. Whatever. The whole diversity of things that people are interested in. Everybody is really passionate about whatever they're involved in, and that was something that I wanted to become involved with. So my whole answer to why UVM, and I regret that you all probably can't come to campus right now, but I think that if you were able to come here, you would see the passion that people hold here at UVM.
Oh, it's me now. Sorry. I was listening to Garrett so intently, and I love hearing that story because my experience couldn't have been more different in terms of like college admissions. I was not making spreadsheets. I was like so chaotic. I was just Googling school saying like, hey, that sounds like a good school to go to. I did not visit UVM before I started classes. I came 3 days before classes, and that was my first time like in Burlington. And like with that being said, I really like thought college was gonna swallow me up. I did not know what to expect. But then like coming to campus and like getting into the gist of things and getting to know everyone, I feel like that's what really like made me realize like UVM, like I'm really glad that even if my college admissions process was very chaotic, like this was a good school. For like me personally, like I really wanted like that liberal arts like type of education, but I didn't want to be like confined to a small place. I don't like to be in bubbles, and I really like appreciate that. One tour guide said this to me. It was like after the fact, after I'd started UVM, but I always like significantly like remember this. But he told me that you can make a large school smaller, but you can't make a small school bigger. And that always like really stuck with me because I felt like that just really described my experience at UVM, to where I'm able to build like those small communities where I'm seeing my friends and like my colleagues and my like professors and students, and like being able to like really get to know them on that in-depth level, and like feeling comfortable reaching out, to where that's how I found my thesis advisor. I just reached out and I was like, let's do this together. But then also I'm being surprised every day constantly by the number of opportunities, and like being emailed constantly by the number of opportunities. And it honestly astounds me how many things there are out there that I still like don't know about UVM. And I really appreciate like being able to be surprised every day, but also having that structure of and support that you can get from like working with your peers that aren't just cool and passionate, but also like genuinely care.
Yeah, I had a lot of different interests in high school. I was involved in student government. I was involved in neuroscience competitions. I did theater. And so when I was choosing about where to go to school, I wanted not necessarily those same opportunities, but I wanted the freedom to really explore what I was interested in. I had been looking at a lot of other schools that had a really heavy research focus. And whenever I stepped on their campus, I always kind of felt a competitive edge in the air, especially around the sciences. And stepping onto UVM's campus, I didn't feel that. I felt an amazing sense of community. I felt like I was at a school where students looked out for each other. And that was what really sold me about coming to UVM. I wanted a really strong research university where I could pursue a lot of interests and really find my passions, but I also wanted to feel supported and uplifted and feel like I could be my true self here on campus. And I've never regretted my decision coming to UVM. Stepping onto campus, I knew that I had made the right decision. When I was walking into the Honors College, I saw my first year professor sitting outside, and it was the second time I had ever met her. I'd met her once at orientation, and she said, "Aiden, you're in my Honors College class, right?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you remember me from orientation?" And in that moment, I knew that the professors and the students and everyone here on campus really looked after you and cared for you and wanted to make it your home.
Wonderful. I want to thank our three students for joining us this evening and for sharing their experiences and answering the questions that you have. We now have the opportunity to engage in a live Q&A with Martha Lance, one of the incredible academic advisors within the Honors College. As an Honors College advisor, Martha really focuses on the holistic well-being of our students. She's available to advise students on what classes they should be taking, what sort of experiences outside the classroom they should engage with, helping them to choose majors, helping them to choose career goals as well. She also heads up our peer mentorship program within the Honors College. Outside of her work at the university, she's also an avid fan of opera, fly fishing, dogs, herons, ospreys, eagles, also on Lake Champlain, so very active with bird watching on Lake Champlain and absolutely and in reading. So with that, we'll kick some questions over to Martha. Starting off, can you talk a little bit about the course registration process? Do students in the Honors College get priority registration?
Yes, thanks. And I'd like to thank my advisees this evening. They made me really proud. And I have gone through the registration process numerous times with all three of them. So HCOL students do get priority registration, particularly first years, meaning you will register in advance of the rest of the university. And you also get priority registration in class for your later years. So that is a great perk. It means that you will have an opportunity to get the classes that you want. The chem lab, perhaps, that's not at 8:30 in the morning, if that's not your jam, and those sorts of things. So registration is pretty well oiled in the Honors College. There's a lot of advising that goes around it. Actually, I'm right in the throes of it today. We have peer mentor events. Scott and I have walk-ins, and we like to meet with each of our advisees, if we can, the first semester before registration. So there's a lot of care that takes place into making sure you know the process, you know how to register mechanically, and also that you are exploring the courses that will truly interest you.
You mentioned peer mentoring. Can you talk a little bit about the Honors College model for peer mentorship?
Sure. So the peer mentors are a group of about 16 students, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. They're absolutely spectacular. And I am a true proponent of the student voice in advising, and I always defer to their voice. There's a selection process that we go through to choose our peer mentors. Quite, they humble me daily. Their average GPA as a group is about 3.89, which is astounding. They come from all sorts of majors. So as a first year, I will assign you to a peer mentor. I do my best to try and get a peer mentor that is in your major, but oftentimes the peer mentor will be in your college. And they will have small group events, social and as well as academic events, and you will get to know them, and they will truly help you in your transition to college because they've gone through that themselves. So an amazing voice for the college experience, for what HCOL culture is like, and also how to navigate the campus. The first weekend you will meet your peer mentors, and one of the first events will be to join your group in a tour of campus so you don't get lost on your way to class. I know that's really scary for many people. So they are a group of amazing people. I have several alums who are in graduate school, one fellow's at Duke Law School, others are in med school, so they're really amazing students, but they're also incredible human beings with a lot of different interests and talents.
We talk a lot about how academics go well beyond the classroom setting. So this is through student engagement and internships, through research, through study abroad, potentially service learning projects. Can you tell us a little bit about how you help students to be engaged in those high impact practices?
Sure. So my dear colleague, Scott Clark, who I believe is behind the scenes this evening, he and I work quite closely together, and we are big fans of holistic advising, in which we really want to encourage you to pursue your passions, certainly in the classroom, but also to integrate disciplines. And so there are a lot of research opportunities on campus. There is an Office of Undergrad Research right in the Honors College building. They serve the entire university, but they love to serve HCOL students. There's an Office of Fellowships, And these folks put on a student research conference. It's coming up in April, and I believe it'll be live, so you might be able to see it. So there's a lot of opportunity. Scott and I are a referral source. We know professors all around campus. We're familiar with different types of programs. And so in our advising session, like the one I had today, a student mentioned they were interested in integrated health. Well, I know a professor who takes students to Iceland every break, every March, and has the students work with her studying the impact of hot springs on community health. Well, there's a connection there. Scott and I will try and connect students with opportunities when we find them. I like to say, Scott and I always have our antenna up for our students, and we always have the peer mentors antennae up too. A lot of opportunities for you.
Wonderful. So as we close out the final Q&A portion of our evening, it's only fair that I ask you this question because I asked the students this question. Why the University of Vermont? Why should students come here and learn in the Honors College?
Well, I think first and foremost, and actually I was thinking about this as a lot as I drove to campus, I think the Honors College gives you a spectacular opportunity, be you student, staff, or faculty, to really explore the human condition and what it means to be human and intelligent, work in social justice, anthropology, that's my field, or history or science. So coming to UVM, as I mentioned in my intro, you have an opportunity to take advantage of a large university's resources, medical school right next door, as well as our Honors College family, where you'll have scholars who are friends and faculty and staff who are also scholars who are pursuing all sorts of interests. So to me, it's an opportunity to really explore what it means to be human and all the complexities of humanity and scholarship. You're guided every step of the way. The thesis itself is a very much guided process. So there's incredible opportunity for your personal growth, and we like to help each other grow as well, I think, as a community.
Thank you so much, Martha. I want to say thank you to the students, thank you to the HCall team, thank you to the event services team here at the university to help us to put on this event. I hope all of you at home enjoyed this event and hopefully learned a little bit more about what it means to be part of the Honors College community. If you want to learn more, if you want to engage in any more questions with us, or if you want to accept your invitation to the Honors College, please go to go.uvm.edu/hcall2025. You can also follow us on Instagram at UVM Honors College, or you can like us on Facebook. You can also contact us at honors.college@uvm.edu. Please know that we understand that the college search process, applying to college, is difficult even in the best of times, and that we're here to help in any way that we possibly can. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.